G'day folks, in this video I'll unbox and review the Skewby 2x2 octahedron. Okay, well this is an MF8 product and that's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that one before. Maybe I haven't, I've just missed it like I've missed most things. That clover octahedron, I don't know, there's a lot of octahedrons going on here. That is the thing allegedly that we're going to have a look at today. So yeah, the Skewby 2x2 octahedron. It's an octahedron shaped puzzle on a skewb axis that apparently turns like a 2x2. And I must admit, I'm not entirely sure how that works, being an octahedron. So this here is from Cubes, and as usual, thank you so much for Cubes for sending this over for me to unbox and review. Okay, you can see this particular one is the original plastic colour, and I know there is a black version available as well, and I suspect they'll be getting them in pretty soon. But the cost of this thing is about $38 at Cubes. It's $56 elsewhere, so it's much cheaper as per usual. But as I've said recently, I'm not fussed anymore, really, if the colour of the plastic is black or original or whatever, because I just want good solving and good turning. So the colours on this thing, you've got, what have we got? The standards, I presume your white and your yellow, your red and your orange, your blue and your green, and then the other two are this sort of violet or a purple and a pink. So octahedron, let's first of all, yeah, I can't really get my head around how this is a 2x2 turning as well. If I turn it, to me that seems to be the sort of the skewb turn like that. Ah, is that what's going on? I think that's what's going on, in the sense that there are two cuts from the edge to the center of the puzzle. If you think about a 2x2, that's exactly what you've got. You've got, well, not really two cuts, you've got essentially one cut from each edge that cuts through the center, and that happens on each axis. That's how you get the 2x2x2. So that's what's going on here. You've got the same sort of thing. You've got it on that axis and that axis, and whatever the other one is that I haven't checked yet. Presumably that is the 2x2 portion of it, and this is the skewb portion of it, I would think. But yeah, so I wonder if without those 2x2 turns, this would behave as a, what is it, a skewb diamond, something like that. But now, of course, you've got this extra set of cuts here. So very, very interesting. Now, in terms of the turning of this thing, it's a little bit stiffer with the 2x2 cuts. And I really hope I'm correctly identifying which cuts are which here, but that's what makes sense to me. This one here, I don't think it's going to do any crazy stuff, but of course I'll find out. These look to be the skewb cuts, like they're a bit better, they feel a little bit better. So I don't know if it's one of those things where it just is by default, it's going to be easier to turn on those skewb cuts. The other interesting thing about this is that I have no idea what's solved, and I don't know now whether it's in a solved position or whether it's even possible to call it unsolved. I suppose you would say maybe white and yellow are opposite, maybe red and orange opposite. I suppose that would be solved status, but you have to kind of admit, if you just did that, you wouldn't necessarily look at it and go it's unsolved if you didn't know the original colours. So yeah, MF8 product. Let's see if we can, I don't know, what would I normally be able to do? I would normally be able to turn along there. If I make that turn, can I still do it? I very much doubt it, because I don't think the cuts will line up, and it doesn't seem like you can. So no, can't do that. Now ordinarily, all I would be able to do would be a turn like that. But of course now I can also do that sort of thing there. I'm kind of desperately hoping that some amazing miracle thing will happen here, but it's not going to, I don't think. So let's scramble it up. I don't know. In fact, doing 2x2 turns, you can see in terms of making it look less solved, it's kind of almost pointless there because it still looks like a solved puzzle. So I guess you would do some Skewb type turns initially, and then you can start doing that. Maybe intermingle them. I must admit my brain can't process exactly how this would end up potentially being different than if you only had the diamond turns, or the Skewb turns, I should say. Well, there's the first thing, I suppose. In a normal Skewb, could I separate those bits there? That's probably the answer to my question. So I could certainly do that, and I could certainly do that. That, I think, is what is going on there. So, I mean, even the fact that I can now break apart those, that piece has just come out a little bit there, break apart those corners is probably not normal, and certainly something you couldn't do on a Skewb. So that's probably the difference in terms of having those corners able to take sort of any color piece. Well, here I am a day or two later. This has not moved from its position, apart from maybe these little pieces here. Just I moved them back to here, but the cube, the puzzle, has not moved at all. Now, the reason I find this so fascinating is because I have the most incredible respect for cubes now. I mean, I respected them before, but when you hear what's happened, you will be like, wow, that is pretty impressive. So if I had paid for this puzzle on my own, I would have absolutely just gone, well, I don't think this is a very good puzzle, don't buy it. And for those of you who've been around with me for the past 10 plus years, you will know that I have not shied away from doing that in the past. Some of you may remember the 2x2 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙐𝙏 something or other. I said, keep your day job, 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙏. And I was pretty brutal with that because it was a pretty rubbish puzzle. And there's been others as well. And I know that those reviews in the past have ruffled some feathers. And I always wanted to be the sort of person who did reviews that were honest and didn't look at a puzzle and go, this, you know, just basically lie about the puzzle when it was clear that it wasn't turning very well, but, you know, just say it was fantastic. And yes, I'm saying that other puzzlers did that. Okay, so where are we now? I haven't moved it. I'm obviously releasing this video, and that's what I find so amazing. Because I did not pay for this puzzle, and because nobody knew that it was coming, I contacted Cubes and said, look, this is what's happened. I uploaded a snippet of the video, the last bit that you saw there, and said, this is not good. Like, the puzzle's not good. I'm assuming you're not going to want me to release this. I'm happy to send it back to you if you would like. Now, to my utter surprise, this is the response I got. Don't worry, please make an objective review as you did before and upload the video online. Actually, no product from any manufacturer is perfect, right? For the design fault, as you know, for lots of MF8 items, they turn not very good. Now that alone told me, well, they certainly know their MF8 products, because that is true. MF8 is pretty much hit and miss. Some are fantastic, some are not great at all. I contacted them back and said, are you sure? Like, people aren't going to want to buy this. And they said, we don't want you to lie. Objective review is very important. Make a review video or not based on your decision. An objective review is the fundamental principle. I think they're being pretty clear. I still wasn't sure, and I said, are you sure? And this is what they've written back. If we let you lie, I think you'll lose followers, and in the long term, we'll lose your support and more customers. Now, that is staggering to me, that a company would willingly say, you know what, put this review up, because at the end of the day, we don't want people buying this puzzle if it's not a good enough puzzle. That tells me that Cubes care far more about their customers and their customers getting good products than they do about making money as a one and only last resort. So I just want to say I'm staggered at how impressive Cubes have been through all this. You're seeing this, so it's exploded. I mean, it's not a massive explosion, but it's still a pop. Okay, I think I think that is back, apart from this one on the back having just come out. Will that turn now? There we go. Hopefully that's back to normal. So let's be honest. Is it the world's worst puzzle? No, not at all. These turns here are a little bit stiffer than you'd like. Perhaps some lube would open them up. I mean, it is also clear that these bits haven't been finished, or they're not sort of solid on the back. Obviously, that's just a cost thing, but it's not a hugely good look. But anyway, is this the world's worst puzzle? No, it's fairly okay, but my review is, would I recommend you buying it? I don't think so. Would I recommend myself buying it? I don't think so. I don't think I'd be super happy with a puzzle that turned like this. And some of you may know, lately I've just got to the point, I'm getting too old to deal with these puzzles that have issues. I want a puzzle that turns well out of the box, and something that has been properly tested by the company and they're happy to release it, going, yeah, people will be happy with this. This one doesn't quite strike me at that level. So what do I want to say? Please, if you are still going to buy this puzzle, I'm begging you, buy it from 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙊. Whether you use the link in my description or just buy it from 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙊, please buy it from 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙊, because they have shown they are a company that are honourable. And let's be honest, that's pretty rare. They want customers to be happy. They want customers not to be deceived. I think that's a fantastic thing. So thank you again to 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙊 for sending me this. I really appreciate the option here to do an honest review. I hope you, as my viewers, appreciate what 𝘼𝘽𝙊𝙊 have done, appreciate the fact that this video still got released. I'll leave it in your hands, but there it is, the MF8 2x2 Skewby octahedron.